Picture this. You just spent $100 on an imported organic memory foam cat bed. You place it gently on the floor, anticipating the look of absolute gratitude from your furry little overlord. Instead, your cat sniffs it once, gives you a look of pure disdain, and goes to sleep inside a dusty Amazon box. Sound familiar? We cat parents put up with a lot. The 3 a.m. zoomies, the knocked-over water glasses, the random bites when we pet their bellies for 0.5 seconds too long. We joke that they are the bosses of the house, and we are just the staff. But do you ever wonder, what if your cat isn't just acting aloof? What if they are actually plotting an escape? Every year, thousands of cats leave their homes and simply never come back. Think they just get lost? Think they do it out of spite? Or did they just break down? Today, we are uncovering the dark, secret truth. We are going to reveal the one monumental mistake that makes cats pack their tiny, invisible bags and leave forever. And trust me, you might be doing it right now without even realizing it. Drop a comment below right now with the name of your furry hooligan, and let's dive into the fascinating, weird, and sometimes dramatic minds of our cats. Before we reveal this ultimate betrayal, we need to get into the mind of the tiny tiger living in your living room. You see, unlike dogs, who have been bred for thousands of years to basically worship the ground we walk on, cats are entirely different creatures. Dogs are pack animals. They seek a leader. Cats? Cats are solitary, apex predators who just happen to find our central heating highly convenient. In the wild, a cat relies on absolutely no one but themselves. Their survival depends completely on their environment, their hunting skills, and, most importantly, their territory. To a cat, territory is literally life. It is their safe zone, their hunting ground, and their sanctuary. When a cat moves into your house, they aren't thinking, "Oh boy, a human master to love me." They are thinking, "Excellent, I have acquired a temperature-controlled cave with an automated food dispenser." They map out every inch of your house. They claim it. So when a cat decides to leave, it is rarely because they suddenly stopped liking you. It is almost always because their ultimate sanctuary has been compromised. The core of their universe has been shaken. Let's break down exactly how we humans accidentally ruin their perfect world, leading up to the ultimate mistake. Let's kick things off with the grand illusion of loyalty. We humans love to project our own emotions onto our pets. We think, "I feed Mr. Whisker's premium salmon pâté every morning. Therefore, he owes me his eternal devotion." But feline psychology doesn't work like a Hollywood romance movie. Cats operate on a strict system of security and resource availability. If your home suddenly feels unsafe, unpredictable, or chaotic, all that premium salmon pâté won't mean a thing. They are hardwired by millions of years of evolution to flee from environments that compromise their survival. When a cat leaves, it is a calculated decision based on a loss of control over their environment. They don't leave to break your heart. They leave because their inner wildcat is screaming that this territory is no longer viable. Understanding this is the very first step in preventing a heartbreaking disappearance. You have to stop thinking of your house as your house that the cat lives in, and start thinking of it as the cat's sovereign nation that you are lucky enough to be allowed into. If you disrespect the borders of their nation, they will simply pack up and find a new country to rule. This brings us to the core concept of the one big mistake, the complete destruction of their feline core territory. Everything else we are going to talk about stems from this massive error. Your cat views your home in layers. There is the outer perimeter, the hunting grounds, and then there is the core. The core is where they sleep, eat, and use the bathroom. It is their ultimate safe room. The biggest mistake you can make, the one that drives cats out the door forever, is fundamentally betraying the safety of this core territory. When owners force sudden, massive changes without giving the cat agency or time to adapt, the cat's stress levels skyrocket. Imagine if you came home from work one day and someone had removed all the doors from your house, invited a marching band to live in your living room, and moved your toilet to the front porch. You would move out, right? Well, your cat feels the exact same way when we aggressively disrupt their sanctuary. It isn't just one single action. It is a pattern of ignoring their need for a stable, predictable, and strictly controlled environment. When the core is broken, the cat must leave to survive. Let's talk about something you probably do every single week without realizing it's causing your cat immense psychological distress. The great scent erasure. Have you ever noticed your cat aggressively rubbing their cheeks against the corners of the walls, the sofa, or your shins? They aren't just giving you kisses, they have special scent glands on their faces, and they are literally painting the house with their personal signature. This scent tells them, I am safe, I own this is home. Now, what do we humans do? We bust out the bleach, the citrus-scented surface cleaners, and the heavy-duty laundry detergents. We scrub away every single trace of their hard-earned territorial markers. To a cat, a house that smells like artificial lemons and bleach is a terrifying alien landscape. It is as if they woke up and found all the locks changed and their name taken off the mailbox. If you constantly erase their scent, especially in their core territory, they will eventually feel like they don't live there anymore. And if they don't live there, why should they stay? They will wander off to find a place where their claim to the land actually sticks. Now, let's move on to the classic unwanted intruder scenario. Picture this. You decide your cat looks a little lonely. So, you go to the shelter, adopt a bouncy, energetic new kitten, or a loud, clumsy dog, and you just plop them down right in the middle of the living room. Look, Mr. Fluffles, a new friend, you say. Meanwhile, Mr. Fluffles is experiencing a full-blown existential crisis. Remember, cats are highly territorial. Dropping a strange animal into their core territory without a slow, meticulous introduction is the ultimate betrayal. It is literally an invasion. To your resident cat, this new creature is a competitor for food, for territory, and for their life. If the new animal is aggressive, hyperactive, or constantly invading your cat's safe spaces, your cat's stress hormones will go through the roof. If they feel they cannot defend their territory, and there is no high ground or safe room to escape to, their flight response kicks in. Many cats will simply bolt out the back door and seek a quieter, less contested neighborhood, rather than fight a daily war in what used to be their peaceful sanctuary. Here is a painful truth for all you affectionate cat parents out there. Being a forced cuddler is a major red flag for your cat. We get it. They are incredibly soft. They look like living stuffed animals and you just want to scoop them up and squeeze them. But cats are all about consent and bodily autonomy. When you constantly pick up a cat against its will, trap it in hugs it wants to escape, or wake it up from a deep sleep just to kiss its little head, you are stripping away its control. In the animal kingdom, being restrained equals death. It means a predator has caught you. Even though your cat knows you aren't going to eat them, the instinctual panic of being trapped is very real. If your house becomes a place where they are constantly ambushed by a giant, grabby primate, they will associate the environment with anxiety. They will start hiding under the bed, staying on top of high cabinets, and eventually, if an opportunity presents itself, they will slip out an open window to find a place where nobody touches them unless they explicitly ask for it. Let's dive into the dirty details, literally. The litter box nightmare. If you want to know the fastest way to make a cat absolutely despise their living situation, ignore their litter box. Cats are obsessively clean animals in the wild. They bury their waste to hide their scent from larger predators. When they live indoors, their litter box is their only option to fulfill this crucial survival instinct. If you let the box get full, foul-smelling and repulsive, you are forcing your cat to step into a biohazard zone just to relieve themselves. Would you want to use a gas station bathroom that hasn't been cleaned in a month? Neither does your cat. First, they will start going on your rugs or your laundry to send you a message. But if the problem persists, the stress of not having a clean, safe place to do their business will drive them away. They will actually seek out fresh soil in the neighbour's garden and just might decide to stay there. A clean litter box isn't just a chore. It is a fundamental pillar of keeping your cat anchored to your home. Next up is the open door roulette. This is less about psychological betrayal and more about a tragic misunderstanding of feline curiosity. Cats are incredibly nosy. They want to know what is behind every closed door. When you casually leave the front door wide open while carrying in groceries, your cat might wander out just to sniff a leaf. But here is the problem. Indoor cats have absolutely no street smarts. The moment they cross that threshold, they are bombarded with a sensory overload. The sound of a passing car, the bark of a distant dog, or a sudden gust of wind can spook them into absolute panic. When a cat panics, their brain short-circuits. They don't run back to the open door. They run for the nearest dark hiding spot, under a neighbour's porch, inside a storm drain, or up a massive tree. Once their adrenaline spikes, they go into survival mode and may not even recognise your voice calling them. They didn't intend to leave forever. They just made a terrible mistake, got lost, and became too terrified to navigate their way back to their core territory. Now we have to address the elephant in the room, or rather, the hormones in the cat. The unfixed wanderer. If your cat is not spayed or neutered, you are fighting a losing battle against millions of years of biology. When an intact male cat catches the scent of a female in heat, which he can smell from literal miles away, his brain completely shuts off logic. He doesn't care about his warm bed, he doesn't care about the premium food, and he certainly doesn't care about you. His only mission is to escape and spread his genetics. He will tear through window screens, dart out of cracked doors, and travel incredibly far distances. The same goes for females in heat, who will vocalize loudly and actively seek an escape route to find a mate. While they are out there blinded by hormones, they cross busy streets, get into vicious fights with other feral cats, and wander so far out of their territory that finding their way back becomes impossible. Not fixing your cat is basically handing them a one-way ticket out of your life. Let's talk about the vibe of your house. Specifically, the loud environment factor. Cats possess an incredibly acute sense of hearing. Their ears are essentially highly tuned satellite dishes designed to hear the faint squeak of a mouse underground. So what happens when you blast the television, have screaming children running down the halls, run the vacuum cleaner every day, and throw loud parties? To your cat, it is the equivalent of living inside a jet engine. Chronic noise is a massive stressor for felines. It prevents them from sleeping deeply, which they need to do for 12 to 16 hours a day. It also masks the sounds of potential approaching predators, making them feel incredibly vulnerable and on edge. If a cat feels like they can never truly relax, their home ceases to be a sanctuary. They will begin to associate your house with constant sensory assault. Given the chance, a highly stressed cat will absolutely abandon a chaotic, noisy house in favour of a quiet, peaceful barn or a serene woodland area where they can finally hear themselves think. Here is a behaviour that absolutely shatters the bond between human and cat: the punishment paradox. Because cats aren't dogs, they do not understand negative reinforcement the way dogs do. If a dog chews your shoe and you yell, the dog feels guilty and wants to appease you. If a cat knocks over a vase and you yell, clap your hands, or worse, spray them with a water bottle, the cat doesn't think, "Oh, I shouldn't touch the vase." The cat thinks, "My giant primate roommate has suddenly gone insane and is violently attacking me." To a cat, you have just become unpredictable and dangerous. They do not connect the punishment to their action. They only connect the terror to you. If you routinely yell at or punish your cat for doing natural cat things, like scratching furniture or jumping on counters, you are actively destroying their sense of safety. Why would a cat want to stay in a territory where the largest creature in the room constantly ambushes them with loud noises and water? They won't. They will leave to escape the crazy, unpredictable giant. Food is life, and food insecurity is a massive driver for feline relocation. You might think, "I feed my cat every day, they are fine." But cats thrive on routine and predictability. In the wild, they hunt multiple times a day. If your feeding schedule is highly erratic, sometimes you feed them at 7 a.m., sometimes at noon, sometimes you forget until dinner time, your cat starts to experience resource anxiety. They don't know when their next meal is coming. Add to that the mistake of feeding them cheap, unfulfilling food that leaves them constantly hungry, or putting their food bowl right next to the noisy washing machine where they feel too scared to eat. When a cat feels that their primary territory is failing to provide a reliable food source, their survival instinct dictates that they must expand their hunting grounds. They will start roaming the neighborhood looking for a better deal. And believe me, if they find a house 3 blocks down where a sweet old lady puts out fresh tuna at precisely 8 a.m. every morning, your cat just might pack their bags and hand in their resignation letter to you. Let's look at a very physical mistake owners make: the window screen tragedy. Many cat owners love to open their windows during the summer to let the fresh breeze in. Cats, naturally, love to sit on the windowsill, smell the outside air, and chatter at the birds. But if your window screens are old, flimsy, or simply not there, you are setting up a disaster. Cats possess an incredibly strong prey drive. If a particularly juicy-looking pigeon lands just a few feet away, a cat's instinct can completely override their logic. They will lunge at the bird without realizing they are on the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th floor. This leads to them bursting through the screen or simply falling out. Once they hit the ground, not only are they potentially injured, but they are suddenly in completely alien territory. Terrified, in pain, and disoriented, they will bolt and hide in the nearest dark crevice. They aren't trying to run away from you, but your mistake of not securing the perimeter essentially launched them out of their safe zone, and many are too scared to ever find their way back. There is a deeply heartbreaking reason why cats sometimes leave, and it has to do with the hidden illness phenomenon. Cats are masters of disguise when it comes to pain. In the wild, showing weakness or illness makes you an instant target for larger predators. So, a domestic cat will hide their pain from you until it is almost unbearable. If they are suffering from severe kidney disease, a heart condition, or cancer, their instinct tells them to find a quiet, dark, and secluded place to either recover or, sadly, to pass away. If your house is busy and noisy, they will realize they cannot find the peace they need inside. They will slip out the door and crawl under a neighbor's shed or deep into a thick brush. Many owners think their cat just ran away, but in reality, the cat was following an ancient instinct to isolate themselves during a time of extreme vulnerability. The mistake here isn't driving them away intentionally, but rather failing to notice the subtle, early signs of illness and not providing a designated, hyper-quiet, safe room for a sick, elderly feline. We need to talk about feline infidelity, the better offer. Cats are notoriously opportunistic. Let's say you let your cat outside to roam the neighborhood during the day. You think they are just chasing butterflies. But cats are incredibly smart social engineers. Your cat might wander 2 streets over and put on a spectacular performance of being a starving, unloved orphan for a family having a barbecue. That family says, "Oh, you poor thing," and feeds them high-quality chicken. Your cat has now established a secondary territory. If things at your house ever get slightly annoying, maybe you brought home a crying baby, or you switched their brand of kibble, or you simply went on vacation and left them with a pet sitter they don't like, your cat remembers the better offer. They will simply stroll over to the second house and decide to become a permanent resident there. To prevent this, you either need to keep your cat indoors, build them a secure catio, or make absolutely sure that your home remains the most enriching, delicious and comfortable territory in a 5-mile radius. For those of you with more than one cat, listen up closely. The concept of resource guarding is a massive reason why one cat might suddenly decide to leave. Cat owners often try to force their pets to share. We buy one giant litter box, one food bowl, and one nice cat tree. We think, they are brothers, they can share. No, they are miniature tigers, and they do not want to share. In a multi-cat household, an invisible hierarchy forms. If you don't provide enough resources, the dominant cat will start resource guarding. They will block the hallway so the submissive cat can't get to the litter box. They will stare down the other cat while they try to eat, causing extreme anxiety. The submissive cat starts living in a constant state of fear, essentially held hostage in their own home. It is a miserable existence. If they ever get access to an open door, that bullied cat will absolutely run away to find a territory where they don't have to fight for the basic right to eat and use the bathroom in peace. The golden rule is always 1 resource per cat, plus 1 extra. Cats absolutely despise change. They are creatures of extreme habit. This brings us to the disrupted routine mistake. Have you ever decided to completely rearrange your living room furniture? Or maybe you decided to do some major renovations, tearing up the carpet and knocking down a wall. To you, it's a fun home makeover. To your cat, it is an apocalyptic event. Their entire mental map of their territory has been destroyed. The safe spots are gone, the scent markers have been moved, and the environment is full of strange smells and loud noises. Even worse is actually moving to a brand new house. If you just toss your cat into a new home and let them loose, they will be utterly terrified. They will not recognize the new house as their territory. Instead, their instinct will scream at them to return to their old territory. They will escape out a window and start walking, sometimes for miles, trying to navigate back to their old house. Whenever major changes happen, you must confine your cat to one single safe, familiar-smelling room until they slowly adjust to the new normal. Boredom is a silent killer of the human-cat bond. Welcome to the boredom factor. Many people get cats because they think they are low-maintenance pets that just sleep all day. While they do sleep a lot, when they are awake, they are highly tuned predators that need mental and physical stimulation. If your cat lives indoors and has absolutely nothing to do, no interactive wand toys to chase, no high shelves to climb, no puzzle feeders to solve, they will go stir-crazy. They will build up massive amounts of pent-up predatory energy. This leads to destructive behavior, aggressive biting, and pacing. Eventually, if they see an open door, they won't just walk out, they will explode out of it, desperate to find something, anything, to hunt and interact with. An unstimulated indoor cat is like a prisoner in a highly comfortable cell. They will take any chance they can get for a prison break just to feel the thrill of the hunt. Playing with your cat for just 15 minutes a day isn't just fun. It is a vital psychological requirement to keep them happily anchored to your home. Sometimes the reason your cat leaves has nothing to do with what is inside the house, but what is lurking right outside of it. The sneaky predator phenomenon happens when you let your cat out into the backyard, thinking it is a safe space. But your backyard isn't a walled fortress. Neighborhood stray cats, aggressive off-leash dogs, raccoons, coyotes, or even foxes can easily wander into your yard. If your cat goes out to sunbathe and is suddenly ambushed by a massive, aggressive feral tomcat, your cat's perception of their territory is instantly shattered. They will realize that their safe zone is actually completely compromised. During a chase, your cat might be pursued over fences, through woods, and deep into unfamiliar territory. Once the chase ends, they are lost, terrified, and know that returning to your yard means facing that terrifying predator again. This is why unsupervised outdoor access is one of the biggest gambles you can take with a cat's life. If you want them to enjoy the outdoors, leash train them, or build a secure enclosure. Ironically, loving your cat too much can sometimes backfire. The clingy owner, creating separation anxiety, is a very real issue. If you work from home, never leave the house, and constantly carry your cat around, you might be creating a hyper-dependent animal. While this doesn't usually make them run away on purpose, it creates a psychological fragility. The moment your routine changes, say you have to go on a week-long business trip, or you suddenly have to go back to the office full-time, the cat's world collapses. They don't know how to cope with being alone in their territory. They will panic, cry at the doors, and may desperately try to claw their way out of the house to find you. In their frantic state to locate their human security blanket, they escape, only to immediately realize the outside world is terrifying and get hopelessly lost. Teaching your cat how to be independent, providing solo play toys, and establishing a calm routine for leaving and entering the house is crucial for their mental toughness. So, how do we fix all of this? How do we rebuild and ensure that our cats look at our homes and think, yes, this is my ultimate fortress. I will never leave. You must become the ultimate guardian of their core territory. Stop washing their favorite beds every week. Leave their scent markers alone. Never punish them, but instead redirect their behavior. If you introduce a new pet, take weeks to do it under doors, using scent swapping techniques. Give them high vertical spaces, like cat shelves or tall trees, so they can observe their kingdom from above, feeling untouchable. Clean that litter box every single day. Provide puzzle feeders to engage their inner hunter. Most importantly, give them the gift of choice. Let them come to you for affection. When you respect a cat's autonomy, and meticulously protect the integrity of their territory, you aren't just a pet owner anymore. You become their trusted ally. A cat will never, ever leave a territory that provides perfect security, reliable resources, and a human who understands their wild instincts. And there you have it, fellow cat lovers, the ultimate truth. Now you know exactly what is going on inside that mysterious, fluffy head of theirs. Cats aren't trying to be cruel when they leave. They are simply following millions of years of survival instincts. By avoiding these massive mistakes and treating your home as their sacred sanctuary, you are guaranteeing a lifetime of headbutts, purrs, and yes, even those ridiculous 3 a.m. zoomies. Despite all their quirks, their demands, and their attitude, we absolutely adore them. And we know you do too. Let's promise to be the best, most understanding roommates our tiny panthers could ever ask for. If you learned something new today and want to help keep cats safe, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more mind-blowing feline psychology, and share this video with every single cat parent you know. We can save so many kitties from getting lost. Now I have a question for you. What is the weirdest place your cat has ever chosen to sleep instead of their actual bed? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.